Well, welcome back. I want to have a discussion with you, show you a video clip of what happened yesterday evening in the House of Tennessee for the state of Tennessee. And I'm looking at what we call the marked calendar. It's the state committee. This is after the COVID-19 pandemic. We're trying to get some other legislation done. The date is Wednesday, May 27th, 2020. It was in House Hearing Room number 1. It started at 5 p.m. We finally finished up 60 items on the calendar. We finally finished up at 8:30 last night. And of course, it's early morning. I've got my committee this morning at 8 o'clock. But 60 items on the calendar. We get down to number 59 on the calendar, House Bill 2291 by Chairman Hulsey. On that bill, Chairman Hulsey, State Representative Bud Hulsey is out of Kingsport, Tennessee, which is East Tennessee. House Bill 2291, there was a House amendment that was filed and spoke on, and I'm going to show you a video clip of what Chairman Hulsey stated pertaining to this bill. But what I want to do now is read to you the House Amendment number 2 by Representative Hulsey. The tracking number, the code, barcode, whatever that you want to call it, is 17604. And it deletes all language after the enacting clause. So if you're reading House Bill 2291, it wipes out all of the wording on that bill, and it places this and makes this, if it passes the House and the Senate, this is what the bill will read. It deletes all language after the enacting clause, prohibits the governor or the chief executive officer of a local government from requiring a law enforcement agency or officer to enforce a provision of an executive order that requires a private business to close or restricts the freedom to peacefully assemble or travel. Keep in mind, during this COVID-19 pandemic, what has happened to your liberties and freedoms?
You've got House Bill 2291. We've got a motion and a second. I also see that you have an amendment or two amendments here, Chairman.
There is one amendment.
There's one amendment. Would you please give us the drafting code, sir?
017604.
Correct. So we need, did we get a motion and a second on this amendment? All right, got a motion and a second on the amendment. How about explaining that amendment to us, Chairman?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The committee, the amendment actually makes the bill, so
Amendment makes the bill.
I'm going to explain it, and to do so, I'm going to have to preface it with some remarks here.
All right, well, then let's, okay.
I'm going to tell you that I think...
Are you ready for us to vote on the amendment, then bring it on or not?
No, sir. No, I need to explain the amendment first,
Okay,
and then
please.
you can vote.
Go right ahead, sir.
I'm not trying to tell you what to do.
We only have one. Just a moment, Chairman, just a moment. We have a question. There's only one, again, there's only one amendment, and that's 17604 drafting code.
That's all I have, sir.
Okay, that's what I have.
Let me explain to you why I think what we've been through the past 2.5 months here in the state. I think we have put our governor in a terrible, terrible, terrible position because the legislatures who defined these rails and set up this system for the governor to operate in, and I think we have done him wrong. And let me tell you what we've done. We've said to the governor, we in the legislative branch here, Governor, this is what we're going to do, and this is how you do it. All you got to do is say emergency 3 times and click your heels together, and we in the legislature are going to take a magic wand and wave it over your head. And we are going to endow you with the power to make law. And if you need a judicial branch to back you up, that's okay. We don't mind. Now you got the 2 branches of government. It's not supposed to have anything to do with making law. Then we said to the governor, this is what we want you to do next. We want you to segregate all the people and the businesses in this state into 2 piles. One pile we'll call useful people with useful businesses. The other pile are for useless people and useless businesses. Now, dear Lord, don't call it that, Governor. Use a benign word like essential and non-essential. And then when you get them separated, Governor, this is what you need to do next. You need to ensure that the useful people with useful businesses maintain most of their constitutional protection. So they can go about the way they need to go and do what they want to do and go to work and make a living. If they have a useful business that's big enough, you can peacefully assemble 100, 200, 300 people in there at one time. That's no problem. But the useless folks with the useless businesses, we want you to suspend their constitutional protection. And that way you can say to them, you shut your door, you go to the house, and you stay there till we tell you can come out. And the only time we're going to tell you to come out is if you want to go do business and spend your money at a useful business. The rest of the time you stay at the house. Draw your check. Oh, that check thing, it might be 2 or 3 months. The computer system's really backed up. Suck it up. It's for your own good. What a terrible position to put our governor in. And then we said, since we've retained constitutional protection for the useful folks and the useful businesses, we can't harass him with the police. But the useless businesses and the useless people, this is what you do. If those people get out of line, if there's 11 of them show up at a prayer meeting on a Wednesday night, the police come to the door and say, you conform and do what you're told, or you go to jail for 11 months and 29 days. How the heck did we get here? Now listen, anytime you use police power to enforce an executive fiat or decree, that is a form of fascism that this Constitution does not recognize and it does not tolerate. So at the end of the day, what does this amendment do? Well, it doesn't fix all this mess we created for the governor. We got to fix that. So we never put him in that mess again. What this amendment does do is strips out the fascism out of the 3 most egregious constitutional areas. It says you cannot use law enforcement to enforce an edict out of the executive branch that denies people the ability to assemble peaceably, that gives them the right to go to work and earn a living, and that allows them to move around this state freely without the government infringing on them. And there you have it.
Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the faith